Hello everyone. Now we will be doing the multiple linear regression. So this is the data set. Why this is multiple linear regression? Because we can see that there are more than one explanatory variables or independent or decision variables, that is x1, x2, that is years per et and int international per et are given. So and win percentage is y. So in exam or any test, these variables may not be specifically indicated. We have to recognize what will be on the independent variables and what will be the dependent variable. So how to understand that? The basic thing is that we have to understand which variable is being impacted by the other variables, which is the end result. So win percentage is something depends on x1 and x2. This is the team and this is configuration. We can see maybe N stands for National Football Confederation and A stands for American Football Confederation. These are not that much necessary. Our concern will be X and Y because we will be doing our regression based on this data set. These are just the additional information which will have no impact, such impact on our results. Now, first thing to do is we can go to the file. We can go to the options for the regression. Then go to the add-ins. Just make sure that manage in the manage section Excel add-ins is given. Then go to go and then give OK. So we are done with this. Now we go to the data analysis and go to regression. Now we have to select the Y range. If it is previously given like this, it is already selected, just delete it because it may be the reason because we have done before also we have done this math for another data set. So just it is better just to delete everything. So Y range we will select up from heading to up to the end of data set, and X range, since we have more than one X range, so we will select them together along with the headings. See, and if labels weren't clicked, just click on the labels, click on the output range and then click the cell, and where we want the output to be, just click I want my output to be here, and then click residuals part, just click the residuals. That's it, give OK. So we got our summary output, that is our regression is here, and we can see that all the necessary information is given here, and we can easily do our solve our queries. Now I will go to insert and insert a text box so that I can give all my answers together. It will also look nice. So I will just give ans and just start solving. Number 1, write down the regression equation for this data set. For multiple linear regression equation, if we see the generic equation is y equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus how much we want up to beta n, like it's unlimited how much x we have, just up to this plus the error term, which is like any other terms which are not included. So this is the generic equation. Now for our purpose we have to type our regression equation. How to do that? We will do that like the regression equation will be, instead of y we will write win percentage equal to, then beta 1, beta not or beta 0. We can see the intercept coefficient is the beta 0. So just click here. If we copy from here directly, Control C, it may sometimes make some errors. So the safe side will be just to click on the cell, then from the formula bar just copy this with using Control C and give it here Control V. So this is our intercept, which is the beta 0. Then you can give plus or just see the sign of beta 1. What is the sign? The sign is in negative, so no need to give the sign, because if we give plus from the generic formula, plus minus minus, so we can directly give minus. So just again click the data formula data cell, then from the formula bar Control C we get the, and while after pressing Control V we get the beta 1 value, then give x1 plus. Okay, so you can give either like this within the bracket we can write it for more betterment. We can just give into, and x1 is what? x1 was this variable, right? This one. So just you can directly copy this here. So this is our x1, just this thing was our x1, right? Then give again, we need to find out the beta 2. The beta 2 coefficient of x2 is given here. So just click the cell and from the formula bar give control C and give control V to copy it. So we get the beta 2 minus this one is the answer. So x2, right? So x2 is this one, control C, control V. We just want this part. So you can give it in bracket and just give it here into and just give the first bracket. So in this way we can solve the first equation, that is the regression equation for this data set. Secondly, which of the independent variables are significant? Whether any independent variables or the x1, x2 are significant or not, we have to know this using the p-value. See here, the p-value of x1 and x2 are already given. Now, how can we do that? We have to compare it with 0.05 or 5%. If the p-value is lower than 0.05, then only we can say that the x1 or x2, whichever the p-value is lower, is significant. So, how can we write this? So, we can write it stepwise. Now, firstly, we can see that the intercept or the p-value of x1 is 0.08. So, this is much higher than 0.05. So, it is not significant. But for the second one, it is 0.03. So, it is lower than 0.05. So, it is significant. So, we can just firstly, we can copy this. Copy this from the formula bar, control C. Then we can write it here, the answer. Like here, p-value of x1 is this one, right? Which is higher than 0.05. That since p-value of x1 is greater than 5%. 5% is 0.05. So it is not significant. That's it. Similarly, we will find for the x2, right? So x2 p-value. So again here, p-value for x2 is, so you can find it from here, the p-value. See, here is the p-value for x2. So just click it and from the formula bar you can give control C and then just directly, it also saves time, control V. P-value is this, right? So again similar writing, which is lower than 0.05 because 0.03 is smaller than 0.05. So since p-value of x2 is lower than 5%, so we can say x2 is significant. This is the rule, thumb rule, significant. Okay, so this is the rule, that the p-value of that corresponding x1 or x2 should be lower than 5% or 0.05 in order to be significant. So we are done with the second question. Now the third question. How much of the equation explains the relationship between the independent variables and the dependent variable? We have to comment. Okay. Remember that in terms of explanation, like how much of the y is explained by x, or how much of the equation, how much of the variation is explained. When it comes to explained, we will see the adjusted r square value. We will just notice the adjusted r square value, this thing. So how can we write? We will write like this here. Adjusted r square is, just click here and just we will copy the value, control C, control V. So then we will multiply this value with 100. We can do it, you know, verbally we can do it, just like instant, like 0.206, if we multiply it, it comes 20.67%. Like if we multiply it 100, we will bring it to percentage. That means 20.67% of the equation explains the relationship between x's and y, because x means the independent variables and one dependent variable is the y. Or in either way we can write, that means only 20.67% of the dependent variable is explained by the independent variables. So basically we can also write it in like this way. So since it only 20.67%, the rule is that if our adjusted r square is lower than 50%, it is weakly explained. If it is in between 50 to 70%, it is moderately explained. If it is greater than 70%, the adjusted r square value, then it is strongly explained. Since we can see that it is only 20.67%, so we can say it is weakly. So it is weakly explained. The relationship is very weak, or the data set is not something to be applicable for this, to establish this sort of relationship. We can also write, but simpler way is to write like this. Now the fourth one, what is the predicted win percentage for KCC when year's attendance is 6.2 and INT attendance is 0.035? This type of question is based on equation, like the first equation we have written. So we have to, like this equation we have written, right? So here we have to just put the value of, see, this is an x1 value 6.2 and the x2 value is 0.035. If we put these values of x1 and x2 to the main equation, we will get the y. So this sort of thing we cannot do in text box since it is regarding the formula. So we can write it here 4 and we will do the math. How can we do that? Now, since we have already written the equation here, right? So the shortcut will be just give equal sign, then select up to this using Control C. Then in the cell where you have given equal, give Control V. Now, why I have given bracket? Because of this thing, because of this easiness. Now I will just, instead of YDS at, I will put its value, which was 6.2, and instead of this one, here it was okay. So instead of this value, I will write what? 0.035. 0.035. I will just give enter. This is the answer. Okay. And here mistakenly there was a double click. Up to this is the answer. Okay. So this is number 4. You can just, give this put this in another box, like all border. You can do that. Oh, sorry, this thick border outside. Okay. Now the last one. Question number 5, depict the regression. It's the last one. It's very simple. It's on you how you want to depict it. So we will take just these 3 data set, these 3 variables from the data set, that is y and x1, x2. Then after selecting them, along with the heading, we will go to insert recommended charts. So from the recommended charts, we will see which is better. So you can see that this is basically, there are many charts are given. Which one is applicable we can take. It's completely on you which one suits you best. For me, I think this one line chart is more right. Like see, this one is representing the yards, this one is representing the win percentage, and this one is representing the iron. So you can either choose this one, or you can go to the all charts, the scatter diagram also you can take. See, scatter diagram is also there, like how it is given. So it's completely on yourself how you want to present it. There are many diagrams are available. How, if you want to just join the scatter diagram. You can also take this one. Okay, so this is completely on yourself. So I will be choosing from the recommended charts this one. I'll give OK. Yes, up to this. So this is the multiple linear regression part. Thank you.